Ladies and gentlemen, if you like the fact that I'm not up here giving you the plays of the day and I don't have to have oven mitts and I'm not sitting up here scamming the hell out of you with a suit, can't even make eye contact with you. I'm not doing CPN scams. I'm not showing you a Lamborghini in my video, but then talking to you about real estate. Lamborghini has nothing to do about real estate. Think about subscribing, joining me, Larry, in the No Regret Show. Let's get into it. I'm going to teach you how to become a legitimate millionaire. Not some we making money play type millionaire. No, real money. Like I got real damn money. Okay, let's break this down. First, when you get into real estate, you have to understand some things. You need money. If you think you're gonna be able to buy real estate with no money down, yeah, never gonna happen. And if you manage to pull this off, which is impossible because you can't go to a bank and say, yeah, I got no money down for a home, things are going to go wrong, right? Here's a video of my buddy.
I guess when you have a leak in your roof and you want to get rid of that flat roof upstairs and you didn't, this is what happens. Yep.
Now, thank God it wasn't that catastrophic. He had a leak. We had a storm out here on the East Coast. He had a leak. His hardwood floors didn't bubble. Everybody knows that when you get water and wood, it does not go. It wasn't that bad. He ended up doing his roof. But things will go wrong. You need money. You got to understand something. Do you want to own a one-family home, a multi-family home, or an apartment building? Big differences. The more doors you own, the more money you need, and the more headaches you will have. Now, in my opinion, you could do whatever you want. You could keep hope alive and buy in the hood if you want. Nope. I buy in the suburbs. I buy where people can walk safe all hours of the night. They can bike. The crime rate is low. The schools are great. Now, you're going to have crime no matter where you go, but you're less likely to have, Pookie and them doing, crazy stuff at the local Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. So when you buy a single family home, in my opinion, it's always a great time to buy a home. People will say, what about the interest rates? Listen, when you buy a single family home, you're building equity. You're literally building your retirement fund, and you really a lot of people don't even understand that. When you buy a single family home, you're building equity. Here's what you got to understand. Do you want a single family? A single family, if you have two toilets and a toilet bowl breaks, you can make do with it. You know what? You'll use one toilet for a while until you get the money to fix the other one. You got a multifamily. A person is going to let you hear it. If they're paying rent, they want both toilets working. Trust me, I've been through that. Single family home, you buy your own home, you're building equity. The same time, say you buy that home in the suburbs, you buy it for 400, 300, 500. 15, 20 years, houses, the values tend to go up. We had some freak incidents in the past, but in the suburbs, you can look for house prices yourself. They tend to go up. So say you buy a house for 300, 400,000, 15, 20 years, 30 years, that house could be worth 800,000, 900, $1 million. You just made money and you sell that home. You might have to pay some capital gains. Depends on what state you're in. You just added to your index funds, your 401k, your Social Security. That's how millionaires are created. When you see people relocating to warmer areas, they're living off the money they made selling their homes, their investments. They're gone. People do it all the time. People in my career, they're always relocating around the world. Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas. Shout out to the Carolinas. Texas. They're relocating where the property taxes are cheaper. When you get a one family, that's a wonderful way to build equity, give your family a good, stable home. What I did and what other people choose to do is they get a multifamily and they live in it. Do not go to the bank and say this is an investment. A lot of times when you say this is an investment, your interest rates are higher. Say this is going to be my residence. Live there. This is what I did. It's up to you. You do whatever you want. I lived there. I rented out one side and I lived in one side. Now, what I did was I made sure that my tenant's rent in the suburbs was paying like 60% of my mortgage. I bought this house in 2009, and it was the perfect time. And you know what? A lot of you may know I lost this house. I lost a single family during a divorce. Shout out to my ex-wife. You got all the money, but I built it up, ground up, millionaire status without you. Yeah. No marriage license ever again. So here's the thing. When I bought the multifamily, I made sure that the rent covered 50 to 60% of the mortgage, not the utilities, just the mortgage. Because you got to be able to swing this. You're not always going to have tenants in the suburbs. Remember, I don't want to say they're better class of people, but when you live in the hood, yeah, when you live in the suburbs, these people don't want bad reports that they're not paying rent, because a lot of these people, they're saving up to buy their own home. So the longest, I had this house for like 6 years. The longest I kept a tenant was 2 years, because they were coming in and out and they were buying their own homes. They loved the property, but they wanted to build their own equity. They were on the up and coming. Now, when it comes to multifamily homes, remember, you got to share the property. You got to share the driveways. You got to share the backyard. You got to share the front lawn. There may be times you come home from a hard day's work and you want to go in the backyard, have a cigar. You want to have a beer. You want to kick back and relax. Guess what? Your tenants are back there and they're having a party. Their dog is running around. Their kids are running around. You know what? It's a plus and a minus. You got to understand that when you have a single family home, you can do that whenever you want. Now, apartment buildings, I've never owned apartment buildings. I've never really wanted to get into that. And I almost did. I was about to, but I was going to hire a property manager. I'm not managing 5 different apartments. I don't have time for that. I dealt with a multifamily. I don't want to deal with all those headaches. What we did, we went with vacation real estate that, God willing, will be our retirement real estate. Meaning we bought in Aruba. It's an in-house property manager that charges 20% to handle depositing our money. They change the sheets when we come. If something breaks, we have a whole separate bank account that if the renter broke it and it was deemed that they broke it, it comes out of their security deposit. Bulbs, coffee makers, cleaning services, things like that. It comes out of your expense account. You need an expense account. That was bought through the LLC. Every LLC needs to be backed by an EIN number that needs to be backed by an individual social security number. This is why a lot of these scammers try to tell you can just get a CPN and an LLC. But it's harder, and that's how people get caught. Every EIN needs to be backed by a social security number that is attached to the EIN number that is attached to the tax filings of the LLC. Now, whenever you buy real estate in other countries, in other states that you do not live, remember, you preferably want to have an LLC, because every time you fly down there to go handle business with your LLC, you can write that off. Airfare, expense account, things go wrong. Those are write-offs. When you have a duplex or any type of multifamily or apartment building, these are write-offs. These are the tax breaks that the wealthy get. So when people complain about the wealthy people, you can't really hate on them. They're taking advantage of the loopholes that were set in place for them. And they're not even loopholes. It's just tax advantage things. When you own a single family, you can write off the depreciation and taxes and all type of stuff like that. You can write off. See, here's the thing. In Jersey, I don't know if you could write off maintenance. I did write off maintenance when it came to the multifamily. I never did it when it came to the single family. So that's how I did it. Now, I'm sure there's other channels that can go more in depth into this, but if they got a Lamborghini in the shop, chances are they got a real estate class. If they're talking about plays, they don't own real estate. I'm telling you that this is how wealth is built. Wealth is created when you have multiple streams of income. Investing in yourself is not investing in someone's class to put money in their pockets. Investing in yourself is physically buying the real estate, physically owning the index funds and assets yourself, not going through a middleman to put money in their pockets, especially none of these scammy ass people that are up here on social media. If I made $100,000 bet for them to take a lie detector test, they would never take it because they lying through their teeth. They don't have shit. They never had shit before 2020. And once this whole honeypot of scamming the shit out of people runs dry, which it will, they ain't gonna have shit ever again because they didn't have shit to begin with. They're degenerate gamblers themselves. I said it. They ain't got no money and they ain't got shit on me. Have a great weekend.